Hi, I'm David again. This is my second video clip. This is sort of a follow-up video of what I was discussing last night. I don't want to get into the content of what I discussed last night. I just wanted to touch on this subject of love and what that really is. We're all familiar with personal love, and a lot of us have been through in our relationships getting into emotional reactions, telling ourselves these stories around the pain that we experience in relationships. And and it's very easy to slip into these conversations with our partner or with our loved ones where we're emotionally reacting to what they said. They say it's something kind of hurtful, or they're barbing us a little bit, and we respond kind of in a negative way to make ourselves feel better, or just to get them back. And this is silly. I mean, it's common, but there's the purpose of relationships, in my experience, is to get to this unconditional love and this deeper listening that is kind of missing in what I've seen in a lot of relationships, including my own, where I've made that mistake of getting into emotional reactions and not really listening to what the other person's saying and getting to the bottom of it. I mean, ultimately, you don't really want to be in these arguments where you're emotionally reacting to something, or you kind of getting lost in this personal love, conditional personal love, because the ego wants reciprocation. It wants validation through the relationship. It wants that love back in a personal way, rather than just the purpose of a relationship is to help you understand the universal love of life, and that life is so much greater than just this personal relationship that requires reciprocation and is based on conditions. And what I was discussing last night, and I wasn't touching on this enough, I feel. The self-inquiry thing of understanding reality is to get to this unconditional love. When I say get to, it's not like you're pursuing this thing. It happens spontaneously inside it, within you. It's something that unfolds, is remembered or recognized. There's a remembrance. So it's like that, and the relationship you're in and the inquiry is used as a catalyst to help you recognize that right now directly. It's a very natural, organic kind of thing, and recognition of universal love is unbelievably beautiful. Very, very humbling kind of experience. And it doesn't really go away. See, amidst all our personal distractions and emotional reactions, or whether we're in a functional relationship or not, that exists within that unconditional love that is beyond the personal form and this silly human existence, transient human existence that comes and goes. So ultimately, we are that unconditional love when there's a true wanting to understand that, and allowing that to unfold in your life. So I would recommend this: if you're in a relationship and you notice you're kind of in pain about something that your partner responded negatively or in an emotional way, or you responded emotionally or in a negative way, and you're kind of getting into these reactionary conversations, I would recommend, instead of catching yourself doing that in the moment that it's happening, this is an amazing, what you could call it, a spiritual practice. It's one of the See, this is what I love about relationships. It stirs all that stuff up. If you're really in a relationship where you love somebody, it's funny how the depth of feeling that you feel for somebody can stir up all the stuff, all the issues that you haven't been dealing with in the past, and brings that into the moment. So you're forced to deal with it. If you want the relationship to survive, if you want to feel happy and experience the deeper love I'm discussing, universal love, getting beyond the personal melodrama, I would suggest catching yourself in that moment of reaction and noticing yourself having that reaction and speaking in a way as, wow, when you said that, it really feels like this, and describe that feeling. And then you're taking responsibility for that emotional reaction. And what happens in doing that, you recognize a deeper listening going on, that your personal trip, your trip up, or your emotional reaction to what was said doesn't really matter, or that in fact, doing that just perpetuates the pain and the issue that's going on in the relationship. So when you catch ourselves doing that, then we really listen to the other person, and they may continue to be negative and scream at you or judge you for this or that, or all you need to do is sit and listen and go, okay, yes. And if it just doesn't seem like this is a relationship you want to be in, you recognize, wow, I was just taking on all this abuse, then obviously move on. But better in your absence, do they understand? They understand things when you're gone. I think better when there's that space, that absence of yourself. People can recognize their own follies. So you don't always have to be there to respond to their negativity. But if it's somebody that you really genuinely love and they are a positive influence in your life and you want it to work, I would suggest, not responding in a negative way and recognizing you're doing that. And in kind of starting that practice of catching yourself in this moment, because there's no other time, right? It's always this moment. You can't get out of this present moment. When people say, "Oh, I want to be more present," it's like, good luck. How are you going to get out of this moment? So that's the power of inquiry and recognizing your own thought process and recognizing your own emotional negative triggers. And that's it. That's the practice of being in a relationship, is just noticing in this moment what's coming up. And if it's negative, not responding to it. Or even this positive, gushy response to it. It doesn't... The more important thing is the listening and the recognition of that love, that unconditional sweet love that exists right now and always will. And I know I'm talking about it, but because you can't really say what it is, but I'm just using words to point. And I invite you to use your relationships with your loved ones as a catalyst for this recognition of the unconditional love. And that occurs again through a deeper listening beyond yourself. Not just listening to the mental noise you have and the emotional reactions you have, but recognizing the space or the silence behind all that. So, wherever you are, enjoy yourself, and I'll talk to you again.